Hi Lucille.
Hi Nathan. Oh, I heard on the radio today about something called DSD coming to Fairstead. I've looked around on the estate on Fairstead, but I haven't found anything. I've asked a couple of people and I can't seem to get anywhere. Do you know anything?
I've also heard about it, but I don't know anything about it.
Well, you know what? I know a couple of people working in and around Fairstead. I tried to find out what DSD is all about, and I'll take my camera and I'll get some footage for you.
Okay then, please do so, and please let me know if you find anything out.
Okay then, bye for now.
Okay Lucille, thanks, bye. Where did DSD originate from?
Well, Do Something Different's got a long history, and it comes from the research I've been doing for 20 or 30 years, I'm sorry to say it's that long, on a branch that I developed called Fit Science, which is all to do with the health and well-being of people. And we've done, trialled it in all sorts of different contexts, with things like getting people back to work, the long-term unemployed and so on, with dealing with people that have a lot of stress, anxiety and depression in their lives, or whose family stress is high, or perhaps they've got an autistic child or something like that in the family, a child with special needs, or we're trialling it for smoking, and all these sorts of areas. And the largest area, I suppose, has been with obesity and weight management for adults and children. If you want to get something different, you've got to do something different. And there's no way around that. Whatever government interventions say, whatever you hear anywhere on the television, in all the newspapers or in the scientific journals, the equation's simple. If you want to get something different and be different, you've got to do something different. Because unfortunately, we're habit machines, people. And to get something different, we have to break down the bad habits and replace them with better ones.
Absolutely. We work with a number of people who, as I said, have experienced mental distress, and we try to help them get to a point of recovery, and that's an ongoing, sometimes lifetime process. And we will work to try and wrap the different services around the individual, helping them with issues around maybe their self-esteem or their confidence. So if somebody does have a particularly disabling condition, or they have behaviours which aren't necessarily that good for their health, then we will work with them to try and help see how they can address whatever those problems might be.
As individuals, we're all responsible for our own health and well-being, but as parents and grandparents, we have to be role models for our children and grandchildren. So it's essential that they see us doing the right thing, i.e. eating the right things and taking exercise, etc. I think it's essential that services such as the health trainer service are promoted and widely publicised within communities such as Fairstead, so that people know where they can go for help and meet with people who are like themselves, who won't judge them or make them feel uncomfortable, and that they will be able to access the information that they need to be able to improve their health.
opportunity for them to explore what's out there and see there is a lot more on their doorstep. And it's free to join, it's easy to do. You get to meet people in the community. It's a good opportunity to meet other people and for the children to meet other people. And have fun. Lots of fun.
The current state of the health in Fairstead surgery is improving, but we need more to improve with the help of the doctors and nurses and all those things. We have been in surgery for a long time in this Fairstead, and the current state situation is mostly due to smoking and due to obesity and poor health situation. Heart disease is one of the most common disease which we face nowadays in our community.
What has happened is that when we've been looking at issues around the health and well-being of the community here in King's Lynn, we've always wanted to be able to tackle the question of giving a sort of fresh impetus to the idea of people looking after their own health, looking after their weight, their smoking, all these aspects, bringing it all together into a project that people could really relate to. The other gain is going to be a process of learning how a community like Fairstead can take on that sort of responsibility and think about its own future and its own sense of where it's going. And I think there will be a great gain in terms of learning that we can then help pass on to other communities.
How do you see DSD assisting Fairstead to raise the health and well-being of the residents?
I think it provides a focus, it provides great energy, and it provides that thrust for people to go along with and to convince people that they can change themselves, that it's not impossible to change. However difficult they feel it is, it's to convince them it's in fact much easier.
What is your vision for DSD in Fairstead?
The people of Fairstead have been brilliant. They've worked with service providers to really make a difference to the area, and it feels different as a result. It feels a much nicer place to be. People have had that positive experience of change, and we hope to build on that and use that acceptance that things can be better than they currently are, to work with individuals to improve their quality of life. That's the focus, and that's why Fairstead. Well, thanks for coming in, Nathan. That's really good of you to show some interest in what we're doing.
Yeah, pretty good.
Hopefully you'll be able to